Welcome, Cancer. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a reading for you, a message from Spirit. And what is inspiring me is Jupiter's stationary direct motion in Cancer, your sign, after having retrograded since November of last year in Cancer. So there is, in summary, this sense of the development of your own emotional intelligence. This is already an area of your supreme strength, but there is a lot of detachment that you are gaining as a result of this particular transit of Jupiter. And there's a way that the insight that you've gathered during this retrograde period has motivated you to action, to a way forward. So I have pulled two different oracle cards from the Talisman Oracle and the Energy Archaeology. With the Mayan Tarot, the present, past, and future, I'll clarify with the Crow Tarot and finish off with a Crystal Oracle. And let's start with the Transform card. And I'm going to describe the sphenoid, which is the bone that this particular energy pathway describes. And that is the nature of the energy archaeology. It looks at the bones as energy references. So the sphenoid is one of the most interconnected and intricate bones in the body. It connects the neurocranium to the facial bones by articulating with or connecting to 8 other bones in the skull. So that's as much as we need to know about the sphenoid. When in balance, the keywords are regenerative and enlivening. So from the wisdom, you carry the energy of the Sphinx, the ability to transform everything that is and was into the perfect fuel for your own rising, for becoming the next iteration of you. When you suppress your own transformation or allow yourself to become comfortable and attached to what you know yourself to be and the way you want people to see you, you are unknowingly adding kindling to a fire you won't let burn. The energy in your skull becomes stagnant, clogged with these fragments of your experience that you hunker within and call home. But because this is a fire element bone, it will always be trying to set these things alight, and it takes a lot of energy to suppress them. You have to let it all burn, let it dissolve into ash so form can be reborn. It may feel wild and out of control, but the more you let burn away and transform naturally when it wants to, the less it will feel like a wildfire rebirth, and the more it will feel like a burnt offering to everything you got that got you where you are. You are lighting your own path. Lovely. And in conjunction with eternal charisma, I think from the description of the transformed sphenoid card, you can understand the incredible magnetism that your energy translates to others. And there is a personal reference to the energy of this card that is calling to me about the incredible amount of attractiveness. And I don't mean that solely in a physical sense, but the way in which people are drawn to you. This is unlikely to be a surprise to most of you. You are able to draw people in not only with your attention, with your willingness to nurture and notice what is most needed by others, but this ability to hold such a rich depth of emotional knowing within you, and others want to tap into that. They feel it lighting up your energy, and it's something people want to be a part of. This can be simply a comfort or a way that you care for others. But it's beyond that because it's a very intelligent energy in the way that we sometimes describe emotional intelligence in a way that traditionally was sort of bifurcated. right? Your emotions were separate and distinct from your ideas, your thoughts, your thinking. We now that to know it is far more complex than that. And I do believe that this ability to step into the desire to allow yourself to evolve is creating this almost like lantern of the soul that others are often responding to, and that is showing you a way forward from a place where you may have felt really limited by the necessities of your life, the necessities of survival or relationship. Underneath the deck, we have the Queen, the Lady of Jades, or the Queen of Pentacles. And this is just emphasizing this idea about your practical, energetic, and highly productive approach to life. So you are one who sees yourself as having that attunement to not only the goals that you've set for yourself, but the people that you work with. And that helps you to not necessarily take a leadership role, but to be the ideal partner. You're able to manifest the idea in a way that is timed, that is attuned, and that is always willing to lend support to others who are struggling, who don't have the confidence of their gifts as you have the confidence of your gifts. So this gives a very practical edge and in many ways indicates ways in which you have held back from any dramatic or external changes in your life with a concern regarding the likelihood, the fate of others who you know depend upon you. In the present, I pull two cards, the Magician and the Nine of Swords. This is another way of emphasizing what I feel is the desire or the difficulty in releasing suffering, pain, uncomfortable experiences, particularly with relationship. This can be comprehensive failures or disappointments, but it so often is seeded from our upbringing, our first and initial familial relationships. And there's a way in which I feel that you were sectioned out or sectioned away for your differences. And as a result of that, you were the one that others pitied, felt sorry for, but as a result of that, didn't expect much from. And this has been something that I believe you have overcome to a certain degree. You have been able to be modestly successful in your life to your own satisfaction. However, there is this anxiety that you carry, this concern for some of your most basic familial relationships, a kind of battle of wills, or a way in which you close your eyes to the demands and certainly what feel like unrealistic demands of others, and can be quite stubborn in that. But this idea that you actually have long put these battles aside is something that is still you are still experiencing this through a fresh approach to your expression. You've done this work over a long period of time, what sometimes we call shadow work. But I do believe that you are haunted in some ways by the needs or the persistence of these triggers in your current and present social environment, whatever that means to you. So there are likely friends that may trigger some responses that familial members used to trigger in you, or a hesitancy or reservation from those that mimic behaviors that have caused you a lot of pain. This is natural. But there is more of a resolve to resist these patterns and to understand these triggers in a deeper way. And that is where Jupiter, wherever it falls in your chart in particular, or whatever relevance it may have to your other planets, this is really expanding what you already know to be true for you. And so I feel that you are resting more firmly in this earned confidence, this place where the more recent insights, and we're talking the last 6 months, are really showing you a way forward in a way that did not seem possible in the past. In the past, the Four of Cups is really emphasizing the frustrations with uh, the supports, the way you have learned to retrain your emotional self to uh, include those who value and appreciate you, those that see you for who you are and recognize the power of your desire, that really are resonating with the kind of beauty that you keep somewhat undercover. There's a way in which I feel that you maintain some of the best of you hidden and only shown to those that you implicitly trust or love. And so that there's no crime in that. However, I do feel that you may be pushing aside opportunities to expose yourself, to come out of the box, to move outside of your comfort zone, for fear of the kind of exposure and vulnerability you experienced from former relationships, communities, or social circles. You are clear that every opportunity or relationship that approaches you, because I'm feeling like you are approached in some way or other more often than you may be extending yourself. And that as a result of your charisma, your attractiveness to others. But I think you are measuring those opportunities and relationships in ways that incline you to believe that, or that are clear to you, you don't need them to express yourself in healthy ways. You don't need them to grow the things that you feel will be of ongoing benefit to you. You are content with your social circle, and you're content with it organically developing, growing. In the future, the Lord of Cups or the King of Cups, this feels like this beautiful way in which and this feels very much a feature of your social circle, however you define this. There is this automatic and instinctual desire to help others, to care for others, to see what others' needs are, to understand wounding and damage in a way that is quite profound and, of course, is based on some of your own experience, but it extends far beyond that because the depth of your understanding this notion of difference is one that has taught you so much that extends far beyond your familiar social space. This takes you into a place of discerning the need among people who are vastly different from you. And this greater acceptance of that is something that is actually allowing you to glow. It's allowing you to ignite. This is about something, this idea of the lantern of your soul, that there is a light that not only is informing your development, your expression, your broader expression, more public expression, but it's also showing others something that is not everyone has had the same depth of experience as you have. And I I have often said this regarding cancer. This idea of difference is something I think that is misunderstood and is polarizing our world in so many ways, that you have a unique ability to understand the needs of that, and in many ways to move beyond that. So, this journey that you're taking, this expansion you're experiencing, is something that could be recorded or documented or in some way described, narrativized for the benefit of others. If this reading is resonating for you, Cancer, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all of you who are here and am feeling very inspired by this particular message. I'm going to clarify the Four of Cups with a card, and the Magician and the Nine of Swords I will clarify with a card. The Chariot and the Lord of Cups, clarified by the Nine of Wands. Interesting, interesting. So a lot is ending for you. A lot is closing out. A lot is changing. You've completed something in your past. You've achieved something, and you've been recognized for that achievement. For some of you, this is intricately bound up, I will say, with your health or the health of another. But the idea of managing your health, getting healthy, healing yourself in beyond a spiritual way, in a real physical, tangible way, is something that you have achieved to your satisfaction, understanding that it has prepared you for a whole new level of experience. So what might have felt dangerously close to an ending is actually opened up to be a new pathway for you, a new level of activity and visibility. And I'm interested that this is something that appears to be a theme, being out in front, because of your ability to attract opportunities towards you. I think this tentative stepping out of your comfort zone is at issue, and something that you have actually consciously worked on or worked at, and certainly been forced by circumstances to negotiate. In the present, the Magician and the Nine of Swords is clarified by the beautiful Chariot card. And this is a card that is associated with your sign. It is about this earned confidence again, this emotional intelligence that you have been navigating and that is now moving you beyond your past into a place of possibilities. And for all of us, but particularly for you, you are looking at action, new beginnings, new opportunities. Certainly travel is coming up as a possibility for you, but it relies upon your ability to minimize the distractions in your life. As a natural caregiver provider, this is challenging for you because it feels as though you have gotten things in order regarding your emotional or social responsibilities, put things in place. And that is for the end of making sure that you protect your space, that space that allows you to exercise your gifts. This is what moves you forward at this time. You may have a new idea. Some of you may be working on a business or a creative idea that you want to develop moving forward, and this can happen really quickly. You have the opportunity to suddenly move very fast. And in your future, the Lord of Cups. The King of Cups is clarified by the Nine of Wands. Certainly, the suffering, the pain of the past, no matter how it has been closed, it is in the process of continuing to close. You, as anyone, understands that healing is not over and done with at any time. We are human beings. We are not perfect. We're not here to be perfect. So you are aware of your vulnerabilities, your weakness, your triggers, and absolutely your resentments built up over time, sometimes towards individuals, but those can evolve into uh, resistance to certain types of situations or relationships. And I do see you as being wounded, still struggling with issues of mistrust. And that is in counter-distinction to your ability to love on, heal up those who are dealing with similar issues. Quite likely, those who have less to do with your personal history, but are those that you uniquely identify with. And that's where the trust evolves from. Those who, like you, have suffered in some way, or like you, have this powerful gift of assisting others, reveling in the joy and value of being of assistance to others. So I do see you as still guarded moving forward, not surprisingly. This is big stuff. This is a lot of energy that you are wielding, and the prospect of moving out into the public for any Cancer or for any individual who has moved through this is rather daunting. And I think you are surprised at your instinct to move more outwardly with some expression. I'm going to clarify this reading finally with the crystal oracle, and I've got the divine temple crystal, and we have the keyword of source. I'm deeply connected to an expression of the divine source of the universe. Thank you so much, Cancer, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.